Doamnelor și domnilor, din studiourile din Crângaș, vă prezentăm The Casual Friday Podcast cu Alin, Florescu și tânărul Sergiu. Podcastul ăsta e despre orice și podcastul ăsta are de toate.
Alright, hello and welcome to the Casual Friday Podcast. This is, I think, the first episode we do in English. We have right here Mr. Mukinka. How are you, sir?
Hello, guys. Hello. I'm glad to be here. Well, we can do English, and I will obviously, like I do, have a few Romanian words here and there.
Yeah, feel free to
just sprinkle it.
Sprinkle some Romanian.
Yeah.
So, man, I saw you at the Cupa 99 at the open mic contest, and you were like everything I was expecting from a black comedian.
Okay.
And I was very, very thrilled that you are here in Romania and you do shows.
Yeah.
And I think it's very nice. So let's start with the beginning. What are you doing in Romania? What?
Yeah, sure. You know how I first got to Romania was I grew up in Belgium.
Right.
I'm from Zambia, Africa. But I left Belgium at the age of 17. You know,
17.
Yeah, my dad, he finished his PhD. He was looking for a job. My dad doesn't speak Dutch or spoke it very little. So, you know, the logical thing was to find a job in an English-speaking country because he didn't want to continue doing research.
Okay.
He got a job in Scotland, and we all moved there. And yeah, man, from Scotland, it's a bit confusing, but I went back to Zambia.
All right.
I did a bit of soul searching, kind of figuring out, you know, a little bit about myself. And I learned a lot there, especially about, you know, like the content of a country is its people. It's, I mean,
yeah.
Up until a certain point, you need good healthcare infrastructure, but it doesn't add to life, you know. So
I like that you did some soul searching. We don't really do that here in Romania.
Yeah.
So if after high school you don't do anything and you just say I'm doing some soul searching, people just assume you're a loser.
Yeah. No, for sure. And a lot of people who say they're soul searching are losers.
Yeah.
It's just an excuse to not admit you failed at life. But so after that, I went back to Scotland. And there I was 3 weeks in Scotland. Then I looked for a job, found a job in Romania. Original plan was I'm staying 6-7 months. I just looked for a job online.
Okay, so you were in Scotland and
I was back in Scotland, and I was like, I need a job. I'm going to look for a job everywhere. So when the opportunity for Romania came up, I was like, fuck yeah. Let's see what happens, right?
Okay.
But I wasn't planning to stay long.
But what were your skills that you were trying to find a job to apply them to?
I spoke and still speak the Dutch language.
All right.
And I was good with computers because, you know, I was a kid always.
So I assume you work for the corporations now.
I work, I work at Oracle right now.
Oh, Oracle, nice.
Yeah. So, but at the time when I came to Romania, I had very little skills.
I have a lot of friends at Oracle, but I know that you guys have many buildings.
Yeah.
So So you work in the north, right?
Yeah.
That's why you stay in Corbanca. It makes sense.
Yes.
And that's why he drove here and he refuses to drink alcohol.
That's why I can't drink. Yeah.
Usually I give my guests to the podcast. I give some alcohol made by my father, and my father who watches the podcast is very thrilled to provide for his son.
Mulțumesc, domnul.
No,
îmi pare rău că nu pot să beau acum, că conduc.
No, it's okay. He probably closed this podcast long ago. He can't speak English.
Okay, you heard English like...
Yeah, no.
Nu are sens.
All right. And how about the comedy? How did you get into that?
Well, I'll go back to when I first came to Romania.
All right.
the first thing for me, one of the reasons I stayed is I clicked with the people like instantly, you know.
Okay.
I made friends super easy. Like I just get along with the Romanian spirit.
We like black people.
Yeah, but I feel it's familiar. Going back to Africa, feeling the warm people, and then coming to Romania, I felt similar warmth, you know?
Really?
Like, it's crazy. I talk about it with my wife. If I talk about Zambia and describe the mindset, she's like, sometimes I feel like you're talking about Romania, you know?
Yeah, well, like, maybe it's a common thing to third world countries.
Maybe. I mean, I just click with the people.
Yeah,
and I felt I've never felt as free as with people as with Romanians.
So I assume your wife is Romanian?
Yeah, of course.
Nice.
Of course. You've seen the women here, man. What am I gonna do? Go back to Scotland, Belgium? Fine. Come on, man. Come on.
Yeah.
So my friends just told me all the time, man, you're funny. You need to do stand up. I mean, I heard this from the first week I came to Romania. It's like, nah, they're just fooling around, you know. And they would always say it, and I would hear it. Then when I started to hear it from more than one group of friends, that's when I started to think, maybe I could do it. But I was never really a huge fan of stand-up. I never watched stand-up. I would watch Dave Chappelle.
Dave Chappelle.
Like, I was addicted to Dave Chappelle.
Yeah, the GOAT.
Yeah. Dave is next level. And Kevin Hart, I knew he's just so commercial, you cannot miss him, you know?
Yeah.
But very few. I would maybe sometimes watch a clip of George Carlin, a 5-minute clip. I would watch maybe a bit of Bill Burr here and there. I was not a fan of comedy.
Yeah.
Until like last year, I did comedy at my old job for my colleagues, and they like laughed their asses off.
There was a talent show or something?
No, they
just a corporate party?
A corporate thing. They're like, hey, can you do stand up? Because we always, you know, when I'm talking to you, you're so funny.
Yeah.
This woman, Roxana, was like, please try and do it. I'm like, whatever, you know, I know these people, they're my colleagues. Like, I think 100 of them showed up, but they like laughed like crazy. Yeah. And it was my first time doing stand-up comedy ever. And I had like a 25-minute set, and it killed with my colleagues.
Yeah.
And then later on, I found out a lot of comedians have like 25-minute sets for paid shows. Like, this is like, you know, like that's the proper set, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of the comedians that just start out have 5-minute sets, 10-minute sets, and I'm like, what? Really? Nah, fuck that. I can go. You know, I can do this. And after that, I went to Mojo, British Comedy Night, because I was afraid, because living in a corporate bubble, everybody spoke English. And you know, my Romanian was actually much worse before comedy. Comedy made me speak better Romanian.
So how long have you been in Romania?
6 years.
6 years?
Yeah.
Oh, you haven't caught the language yet?
I mean, now I have.
Okay.
Now I speak a lot more Romanian. But the corporate bubble, I mean, every day you go to work, it's English and Dutch.
All right.
Dutch clients and English with my colleagues, English, everything is in English. I go home, I'm speaking English to my wife. I speak sometimes with Mama Swakra here and there.
Mama Swakra.
Yeah. But then comedy, I was just like, you know, fuck this. I'm going to really learn the language, you know. So comedy, I was just like forcing myself, I'm going to speak Romanian. Even when people try and speak English to me, I'm just going to try and push through. And
that's the way to go.
The curve just started to really climb up.
That's the way to
People
go.
wouldn't see me in months, and they'd be like, "Dude, where did you learn this from?" You know. So
you started with the swear words, I guess.
No. Learning Romanian. Actually, I was proud. Let's just say that I didn't start with the swear words, because I was like, everyone starts with the swear words, you know. I want to learn.
Yeah, because there's a reason to that. It's like it's funny to hear someone curse in your mother tongue.
I mean, I heard Pula, I knew, right? But that was about it. that was about it. And then comedy is when I started to learn everything else, you know. And I was like, oh, so fuck your mother's dead relatives? Ooh. Ooh.
These Romanians, man, they are people.
Nasty. Yeah. I was like, whoa.
So in Zambia, what kind of swear words do you have that, I don't know, are translated very colorful in other languages?
Maybe your balls,
Your balls?
They'll be like your balls. But
That's lightweight, man.
it's lightweight. But I have not, I understand the language
All right.
lightly, but I don't speak it. And when you don't speak it and you don't...
Oh, so you don't speak the language from Zambia?
There's Zambia has 73 languages.
All right.
73 tribes.
What's
Each
up?
tribe has a different
What's up
language.
with the African countries, man? I had Mike on the podcast, and he also told me that he speaks like 7, I don't know, languages.
Well, it's not that different from Europe. Europe at some point was divided into many, many clans.
Yeah.
But with time, as these clans evolve, they start to merge into one clan and then a bigger clan. And then, like you have Scotland that spoke Gaelish, but they speak English now. And with time, things just kind of assimilate. And then you start to form countries. And Africa never had that privilege because when it didn't get the chance to evolve, if it wasn't the slave trade, it was the colonialism. It's a place full of resources. So it was always, say, a haunted place.
Yeah, but how come people I don't know, from 10 miles away speak a totally different language? That's what I don't really understand. Because here in Romania, we have the Moldavians, they're neighbors. We have, I don't know, people from a very large place speak kind of the same language, but with different accents. How come in Africa people don't really get along that much?
In the same way. It's, again, going back to history. But not 20, you have to go 600 years back in history.
Yeah.
When you go back in history long enough, you'll find that most places had many tribes, and even in Romania, there were many different languages that have just died. A lot of languages no longer exist. But then when you kind of have an interruption of the natural evolution, you kind of leave it fragmented, right? And then after slavery began, there was no unification or leaving Africa alone. There was a constant plundering of resources, of the people, of colonialism. And only since independence, which is around 1960 for Zambia, I can speak, people are now starting to identify as Zambians and no longer by their tribe. So if you give this another 100 years, people will no longer, some tribes will just disappear.
Yeah.
And then they'll just become one tribe. Then it will be just Zambia. You don't have an official language, and they might, the Bemba tribe, I think, is one of the biggest tribes. Maybe that might become the second language, right? And then all the other smaller tribes will just enter history books and that'll be it.
Yeah, but now the people in the tribes generally can speak multiple languages, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Average African speaks 2 or 3 languages minimum.
All right. They're kind of similar though, right? They're...
You'll be surprised.
Well,
some
I already am.
Some are, but some really are not. My mother is Kaonde, my dad is Bemba. Languages are not alike. My dad understands it because of my mom. But, he doesn't speak. It's a different language.
All right. I always thought that there are so many languages because, tribes never really got along very well. And they were fighting maybe all the time. And they lived, even though they lived so close to each other, miles away. Yeah. They didn't really form relationships. Didn't really talk that much. So that's why they formed their own language, tribal language within a close community. I don't know. I don't really. I don't really know too much African history. I see that you are very well versed in European history.
Yeah.
How come?
I had a bit of an identity crisis when I was a teenager, 17, 18. Growing up in Belgium.
That's when you did the soul searching.
A bit afterwards, yeah. Growing up in Belgium, I'm in a white man's country, right? And I'm a black guy, and I'm taught European history. I'm only taught everything through the eyes of the Belgians. So,
well, the Belgians did some pretty fucked up shit,
which I never was taught in school.
Really?
I would actually dare to say a lot of Belgians, if not most, don't even know that what Leopold did in Congo. They don't know that he massacred millions of 16 million people. 16? It's been estimated. Yeah. And actually, when I decided to do a bit of studying on European history, I was like, okay, let me find out from different sources, what do the Arabs say happened in Europe?
Yeah.
You know, what do the Africans say happened in Europe? What did the Europeans say happened in Europe? What did other Europeans, because you have British and then you have the Germans and the Nordics and the Swedish, they all have different versions of events in history, right?
Yeah.
When I did a bit of reading, I'd come to a little bit of a more calibrated understanding and be like, Europe was just as tribal hundreds of years ago as any other place, but it's just that, you know, with time, some things start to shift and move, and it takes a long time for that to happen.
Yeah, the only thing the Europeans had in common was like the Christian religion.
Yeah,
and that's why they were kind of different, but they had this core of values that was
which united them.
Was common, and I don't know. They just seen everybody as enemies. So Yep.
Africa, with its multiple religions, didn't share that. Though there were some kingdoms, like the Kush kingdom. Kush kingdom, it's called.
Yeah.
It's
located. Type of marijuana, you know.
Yes, man. I wouldn't be surprised if the name Kush comes from the Kush kingdom. Like, these guys built pyramids.
Yeah.
They're located in Sudan. You know, Sudan has more pyramids than Egypt, for instance.
Really?
Yes, it's a little known fact, but
I didn't know that.
For instance, that's the case. The Kushites, they were the ones in charge of that place, and they had their own religion, which was actually an interesting religion, because their religion was not based on attaining ultimate good, but recognizing that you possess both good and both bad. So it was not a dream of becoming enlightened and the best. And it is about, their enlightenment was, you recognize your good, you recognize your bad, and you balance them out. And you don't hate your bad, but you don't love your good. It's both make you who you are, and you use them to advance yourself.
Yeah, that's a very nice view.
Yeah.
And it's kind of different. I mean, the big religions that we know do not really see that the world that way.
No.
Yeah. So what is the religion in Zambia?
Zambians, I would say it's Christianity, obviously.
Okay.
It's actually Christianity on steroids.
Really?
Because it's Protestant mostly, Christianity. Some percentage is also Catholic, I think 20%, but mostly it's Protestant. To the point that they even have in their constitution written, Zambia is a Christian nation. And I read recently on a Zambian page that the president has issued out an urgent warning for Zambians to not accept gayism.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, in Romania we do not have that in the constitution, but in reality we kind of have that. I mean, most of the people are Christians, Orthodox, and on average, I think we hate gay people. On average,
yeah. You know, I find I have actually a comedy skit where I'm basically talking about homophobia, the alpha male, the Romanian alpha male.
Yeah.
And I find it funny because Romanian guys have an issue with gay guys, but Romanian women are just very indifferent. They're not. I mean, they like, no, let them just, at least from my experience, they're people are people, it's fine. But the guys are like, no. And I always have this thing of like, what are you afraid of? Like, he's gonna like see you and fuck you, or like, you know what I mean?
Well, the thing is that we haven't really seen many gay people.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't. Well, there's an explanation, but we haven't really seen many black people. But we love black people because we've seen in Hollywood. We love Dave Chappelle. We love Kevin Hart. We love Friday the movie. Like these are all movies that we grew up with.
Apropos, that was for me a huge shock.
Friday?
No, coming to Romania.
Okay.
And seeing the embrace of black culture. I was like, there's no black people here. Yeah. How on earth do these people love hip hop? They have their own hip hop, their own R&B, and this semi-black culture in Romania, but there's no blacks. I was like, this is fascinating.
Yeah, well, the thing is, I think we love black people firstly because we only see the good and funny parts from the movies in Hollywood. Like, as I said, we see Chris Rock, we see the guys. They're funny, they're nice, they're presented in a good way, and even the ghettos, even the crime, it's cool because
Tupac,
it doesn't affect you. Yeah. So if you go out on the streets at night, you see a black guy, you don't panic, like, because you did not have this problem. You see a black guy as you say in your skit, Tupac, however, in Belgium, in Italy, in the countries that are, I don't know, I don't want to say invaded, but are
where there's more black people. There's more, just you start to draw images very quickly. You start to feel unsafe because you're like, there's a crime committed by a lot of black people, or it's more real, it's closer to home. So then you're kind of like, I don't know.
So there, I think they started to see it as a threat because they are not used. They are not used to these people. They I don't know, in southern Italy, the country people, they lived like that for, I don't know, hundreds of years. They never seen many black guys, and now suddenly they have black gangs on the street. They know that they don't really have a job, and when you see a black guy on the street, hey Tupac, what's up? When you see 3 or 4 black guys on the street that anyone can fuck you up, you start to panic.
You're worried,
you're worried. But in Romania, no, we feel like we feel very good with the fact that black people come to visit us and live with us because we only saw the good parts.
I get it, and I got that feeling when I came to Romania. It was a feeling of acceptance, and everybody's really cool with you. Even the old people, they just sit and watch me.
Really?
They sit and watch me. But at some point, they get convinced. They're like, you're un băiat bun, They just have the, you're sympathetic. Because they just kind of don't see any, I don't know. They'll judge me by my character. And not by anything else. And so they'll be like, he's the first black guy we've seen. Let's see how he behaves. He's a good guy. Cool.
So, do you speak Romanian with them, I assume?
Of course. And it's the best part when I go, when I'm in the countryside, when I go to La Țară and I go to an OMV and I'm standing in the queue, I just like to see the faces they start to pull, They're like, oh shit. What are we gonna do?
So where do you go, La Țară?
Me? I actually just came back from Bistrița.
Bistrița, okay.
I was also a little bit outside of Bistrița visiting some Rudy of my wife. Where have I been? I've been peste tot. I really have been, I can't say I've been to... I always get invited to weddings and they're in all sorts of locations.
Well, if you work at the corporation, you always have weddings.
Exactly. Yeah. So
how do you like Romanian weddings? I personally hate them. What do you think about them?
I like them, but maybe you hate them because you know them. I like them. I mean, Belgian weddings are super boring because they're very simple. A lot of the traditions the Belgians had is no longer there. So growing up in Belgium, there was little tradition. I mean, Belgians don't have much left from their identity and tradition, you know? So you end up growing up with a very bland experience. Nothing really goes on. Then you come to a Romanian wedding, people are dancing hora. I mean, musica populară is still a thing. They do the whole thing, steal the bride and all that stuff. For me, it's interesting, you know, and it's one big party. You're drinking and dancing nonstop and eating all the time. So, and if it's a wedding of cool people, you're gonna have a good time because cool people show up.
Yeah, that's the problem. Where I come from, there are not many very cool people. Where I come from, the weddings are like, I don't know, small businesses. You invite everybody, they pay you. A wedding like that. They pay you. There's not much happening.
Wedding made for money.
Yeah, there's not much really going on. Like the thing is, most of the people that are invited are relatives or friends of the parents. You don't know many people at your wedding in Romania. So all the music, well, not all, but most of the music is musica populară for the old people, right? So the young people don't really have much fun at those weddings.
One wedding like that.
Yeah.
If all the weddings were like that, I would hate them too.
See?
Unless I was like 65 years old, then I would love it.
Yeah. No, so the music is kind of blended as to please everybody. And when you try to please everybody, you don't really please anyone.
Nah.
So that's what happens. And that's why I kind of hate weddings. But I don't know. Some of them are pretty nice because, you know, all of your friends are there.
Yeah. The weddings I've been to a lot are a lot of young people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, I tend to befriend the most stubborn or strong-willed friends who don't give a shit, you know. They're just like, I'm going to invite who I want. And usually cool people show up, so they're not too fussed on the traditions and stuff. So, yeah.
Do you have any, I don't know, odd traditions in Zambia? Sorry if I ask you too much about Zambia.
No. There's something called a kitchen party, which is for the woman.
Obviously.
So the woman, it's like, stay in the kitchen. It's kitchen party where the woman gets a whole bunch of gifts from the kitchen, like a whole
knives,
toasters, kutie, all sorts of things, plates. I mean, like, it's in a way now when I think about it, I'm like, isn't that a little bit misogynistic? But it's not. It's traditional, and that's in the sense of, like, you know, the woman's place was in the kitchen, and so she will be cooking for the family while the guy goes out to work, and she's taking care of the house. So the kitchen party, she gets a whole bunch of gifts from women. She covers her head so that she doesn't see who's giving her advice, and then different people give her life advice, like older women, or her aunts, even her grandmother. They'll give her life advice, how to deal with a stubborn husband, how to take care of him, what to do if you're fighting, to do if he beats you, all this kind of stuff. They give this life advice from their own experience to the girl, so that she gets to know, you know, she gets prepared for weddings. So that I guess is...
it's nice.
Yeah.
I like the fact that you cover her head so as not to see who is giving her advice.
Yeah.
Although you kind of recognize the voices, but
I don't know who I heard this from, but there was a time when they would really like muffle their voices.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They'll really muffle their voices to really make themselves. Yeah,
that's a nice addition.
Yeah.
Don't be slow. Exactly. Yeah, so what about the guys?
Nah, the guys don't have any.
Don't have any tradition. We have a tradition for the guys, like the boys, his boys, or I don't know if let's assume his boys.
His own boys.
Yeah, gather around and they shave his beard with an axe.
Yeah.
Yeah, with an axe.
Okay. In Scotland, they have a tradition that on your bachelor party, they call it the stag.
The stag.
At some point, they treat you shit. They throw eggs at you.
Oh, really?
They throw bird poop on you, or even it can be any poop, cow poop. They can hit you, smack you. They make you dress like in a monokini or women's clothes.
Okay.
And they literally for like a few minutes make you suffer.
So that's like the average night for a stand-up comedian.
And
For
they
an open
shave
micer.
you and- exactly.
So have you ever bombed like really bad on stage?
No.
People laugh at you.
Yeah. I remember after I had my first night at Mojo.
Yeah.
There was a guy, an Irish comedian. I mean, it went really well. So I was like, I was talking to some other guys. There was this guy, Grand Bousset, was really good. And I was like, dude, yeah, that was my first night. And he was really positive. He was like, dude, that was incredible. Keep going. And there was this other guy who was like, oh, you got lucky. You were going to bomb a few more times, but just keep going at it. You just had a lucky stroke. And then there was this other guy, Chris Baker, who I'm now friends with, a really, really cool guy, who then told me, let's link up because I know other clubs you can go to. And I was like, okay, I'm going to write a set, test it, and I'm going to see how it goes. And then I went, it went well. And I've had sets I didn't enjoy, but the crowd still enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But I've never actually gone on stage and bombed. Like it just hasn't happened yet.
Yeah. Okay. I'm asking because that was also my impression that you can't really bomb on stage here. So
yeah,
I think people are so amazed to see you. And the thing is that you, as I said at the start of the podcast, you really offer what people here expect from a black comedian. You have the movements,
the jazz, the flair,
the rhythm. You also have the Romanian words. You also have the experience with old people in Romania that everybody. So it's very hard. It's very hard for you to bomb here.
Yeah.
And this, my friend, this may hurt your career.
I don't know, because I was discussing it with my wife actually. I am pretty positive I could put another black guy, actually discussing also with some comedians, on stage and he would bomb.
Really? I'm
very confident of it.
Well, let me clarify this. I don't want to take anything from you. You're funny as hell, man. That's why I invited you to the podcast. I'm very confident that you will be big here. But what I was trying to say is that I think it's very hard from a decent black comedian in Romania to fail right now.
True or no? I mean, I'm not naive. I know the element of surprise is a huge part of comedy, you know. So the fact that you're black, and then I have the English Romanian mix, which I mean, being black is new. English Romanian mix is new. Even though Vio told me Costel was the first to do it. I don't know if he was joking or he was serious, but it's seemingly new because I've not seen it.
Yeah.
So you know, it's and then I'm a foreigner and I'm telling my perspectives, you know, about Romania. So that's new. So I've got three things.
Yeah.
That
and you also
are like, you know.
You also seen Zambia, you also seen Belgium, you also seen Scotland.
Yes.
So you traveled a lot. You have seen many people.
Yeah.
And you say that Romanians are pretty cool and they make you feel like home.
Yeah. Like going back to the other point, if I were to, like, for instance, put a black guy on stage, right?
Yeah.
And give him my set, I don't believe anyone will be able to just pull it off, because, you know, my life experience, Zambia, Belgium, Scotland, Romania, also in Canada, I was there a few months, and then my personality, which is curious and extrovert. And then, you know, all of that combined, and then to put on stage and then to tell a story, it's I mean, being black is a huge plus, especially, you know, when you're new. Anyone who does something first always is going to get a lot of either criticism or praise, right?
Yeah.
If you're good, you're going to get a lot of praise. Oh, you're amazing. But it's a bit of a, like you said in the beginning, it could be something that hurts you later on. If that's what you're known for, you know, if like, oh, that's the black dude who talks about.
Well, obviously your set has a very personal touch. So you can't really give your jokes to someone else so they would have success with your. Obviously not. You are not the one-liner comedian who writes jokes that everyone can say.
Yeah.
So it's very nice.
I got that inspiration from Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
You can't steal Dave Chappelle's jokes.
Yeah.
Because Dave Chappelle's jokes are stories from Dave Chappelle, you know?
Have you seen Chappelle's show?
The sketch show. Everything. I've seen. I mean, Dave Chappelle, that is why he's my favorite comedian, because Dave is not necessarily telling jokes, you know, like he doesn't have this typical structure of, you know, lay the foundation, create the meat, punchline.
Yeah.
Like he you know what I mean? You won't even know where the punchline is. You'll just be laughing throughout
he's also a very good actor.
Yeah.
Like he's not really only a writer. He's a good actor, and it's really a shame that they canceled this show after the second season, I guess.
Yeah.
There were some sketches there. God dang, man.
It was one of the funniest stuff. And,
Yeah.
and I tried to model my humor. Well, I can't say, let's just say my inspiration is mainly Dave Chappelle's storytelling ways. And that's how I approach my comedy sets, with the same mindset of, I'm not trying to go there and make punchlines. I'm trying to make you not even know what was the punchline and just say, man, I laughed. I don't even know what was the punchline in any of that, but it was just all funny.
I think the people that are watching this are wondering, and I think that they would be really eager to see you, because when they look at this podcast, they see a guy, a very serious guy with glasses on, that talks about history, that talks about tradition, that talks about stuff like that. And I'm just saying, man, you're hilarious. And you also said that
go check out my Ayomor video.
Yeah. That's very interesting about the guys that do comedy, because they don't always seem funny in real life.
Yeah,
like you just seem like a normal guy, like an everyday Joe.
Yeah.
So I think that's nice. So what are your views on life? So it's a broad question, but I like to ask this question. I always try to go deep on this podcast. Like, I don't want to be just a regular interview. So if you can get in depth with some kind of your philosophical views on life, what are you trying to achieve? Why do you do comedy? I know that you're good at comedy, but why do you do it? What do you get from it?
It's all, to be honest, a process of self-discovery. I think we're born like an onion and we peel off layers. And sometimes, you know, we get educated, socially conditioned to not know how to peel off layers and discover who we really are. And I don't know if we can ever really discover ourselves fully, but I still think that self-discovery and self-mastery is one of the most important things and important goals of life. So if I were to relate that to comedy, for instance, at Kupa Noshno, for instance, I went with an untested set.
Really?
Yes, that was the first time. That was the first time I ever performed any of that
stuff. Some balls, man.
And one of my main motivations, going back to not bombing, was I really wanted to self-discovery. You always find yourself at the edge of things. I remember once I was like really down, really low, and I you could call it a depression. But when I was there and I was looking around, I was like, wait a minute, if this is as bad as it gets, that's okay.
Good.
That's okay. If this is as bad as, if I'm feeling really shit right now, nothing's working in my life, let me just figure out why it's not working, you know? For me, that was like one of my best moments ever, like a huge weight off my shoulder when I decided if it's bad, it's because I somehow made it bad.
Yeah.
So if I want it to become good, I can do it, right? And so same way with the comedy set, I decided to just, you know, go with a topic. I was like, I'm going to talk about the word nigger, but how do Romanians view that word versus Belgians versus Americans? And the word nigger has a very different feel in Romania, right?
But how about Belgium? In Romania, I know because
it's a cool word here. You know what I mean?
Here, yeah.
It's like I said to some Romanian friends, "What's up, my nigga?" And they felt so happy.
Obviously,
right? That was like, man, that's like the biggest badge of honor.
Yeah.
And in Belgium, blacks say it amongst each other, but it doesn't have that same cool, you know? No, white person might say or try, but it's not really, it doesn't have, you know, it's still offensive. It carries more weight
so,
there.
in America, if you say that, your career is over.
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
So in Belgium, it's not cool, but kind of
cool.
You can get away with it.
You can get away with it.
Yeah,
but
in Romania, we'd use it all the time.
Yeah, it's like, man, Romanians, I'm sure they're calling each other nigga all the time. They love it.
Me and my white friends all the time.
Right? Yeah, exactly, right? So I decided to go on that set because I see in Romania an inferiority complex that I recognize black people also have.
Yeah.
So it's a subconscious thing in the back of your mind where you don't say it out loud, but somehow something tells you others just somehow are a little bit better. You know, like I see when Romanians talk about Germans, they talk, that's Germans. You know, that's not us. Those are Germans. And a lot of black people also have that little voice in the back of their mind that tells them somehow the other person might be a little bit better than you, right? And so when I went with that set, I felt that it could really hit because the set really was talking about the struggles of black people, and then I related it to Romanians who also have gone through a lot of hardships, and then to say, you guys are niggas too, right? And at that point, you basically, you bring everybody home. You're bringing everybody in the same boat, and then from there, you can really talk a lot of issues, and people are going to enjoy it because they can relate. They're like, I know what this guy's talking about, you know. I know what it's like to be in Romania, go to Germany and to feel a little bit bad and have to tell them I'm Romanian because they'll look at me a different way, you know?
Yeah.
Or so
that's very well thought.
Yeah.
I mean, you can really see that you're here for since I don't know 7 years. You embrace the culture, you know the culture, you know our history. Obviously, it is true that we were the black people of Europe.
Yeah,
we were slaves to the Turks. We were slaves to the
Ottoman Empire.
The Austro-Hungarian, the Russians, everyone like. Yeah. So to say that the Romanians are also niggers, that's I don't know.
At that point, yes. At that point, I think you win the crowd.
Yeah.
Because at that point, the crowd is like, yeah, damn right, he's right.
Yeah.
You know.
So yeah, that's what I appreciated at your set. You could really see that you know Romanians and you know our culture, and you are very well integrated. Yeah,
absolutely. So my view on life, again, it goes back to knowing yourself. Because if you know yourself, it allows you, for instance, I don't know, you keep hitting a brick wall, right? Knowing yourself is basically saying, why am I hitting the brick wall? Right? The cause is me. Somewhere I am the cause of this. I don't even know that I'm the cause of this. That's why, you know, therapy is a healthy option for many people, because you are talking out loud and then you're like, holy crap, I didn't realize that I thought that until you say it out loud. And you're oh crap, you know?
Obviously, knowing yourself is very important, and I think it's the most important thing you can teach a kid.
Yeah.
Because how can you know other people if you don't really know yourself? How can you know how other people see you through their own eyes? Like we don't really, in Romania, we don't really teach kids that. We don't really teach kids mindfulness. We don't really teach kids why do they feel some way, why, how can they manage their feelings.
If you're frustrated.
Yeah.
Okay, be frustrated. Accept your frustration,
Yeah.
but find out why are you frustrated.
Why are you feeling like this?
If you really go to the core of the frustration, right? And you understand and you embrace it, you're gonna heal. But the next time you see a frustrated person, they won't piss you off. You'll be like, I understand what that person's thinking.
The question would be, are you mad at other people or are you mad at yourself?
I think any strong reaction you have to anything out in the world is usually something reflected back to you.
Yeah.
You know, I think anytime, like when you have dudes that are like, oh, fuck that bitch, man.
Yeah.
She thinks she's hot.
Yeah.
Fuck her.
Yeah.
You're pissed off maybe because you want her. That's the only time you
Obviously,
get. You know what I mean?
And
if you genuinely don't care, you won't even mention it.
Yeah.
Like, whatever.
You don't really get the attention you need.
Yeah, you're just like whatever.
In Romania, we have this hatred towards successful people.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've seen it. So I sometimes too catch myself hating a guy just for being successful, and I just wake up and say, wait a minute, am I really hating him or am I hating myself?
Yeah. I think Romania also has a difficult relationship with success because a lot of successful people in Romania genuinely stole it, right?
Yeah.
It was just like closest to the throne after Ceausescu was gone, you get it. And I see a lot of kids in cars that they can't afford, right?
Obviously.
So I'm like, okay, mommy and daddy got it. But why would mommy and daddy give that car to their son or their daughter? Because they probably didn't work for that money themselves, right?
Yeah, but when you get rich like that and you have the money, but you obviously don't have the qualities necessary to achieve that kind of wealth in a free economy, in a legal framework. So if you are in that situation, you don't really know how to manage it. You feel like your kid deserves everything because, well, it's your kid.
Exactly.
So but I think this kind of wealth won't last for more than a generation.
It doesn't. That type of wealth, the kids will squander it.
Yeah.
The parents will die. The kids will have it. Won't know what to do with it. They'll squander it, and
that happened.
That's the good news.
Yeah, that happened after the communism. There was like a free for all period.
Yeah.
There weren't any laws. There weren't many people to enforce it. It was kind of the Wild West. And the thing that was, I don't know, let's say we have to give ourselves a period of buffering before the democracy settles in, but after that nothing really important happened. Like nothing in the opposite direction happened. Like the mindsets are kind of the same,
for sure, and it will take some time. I mean, I get the frustration, like, you know, seeing a rich dude has a nice car, has an everything, and part of you is like, how did you get it, right?
Yeah.
You know, I'm busting my ass. How did you get it? You know what I mean? So, but it's a reaction for something within us, you know. So a part of us, and I think a reaction is not bad. You just have to know the source of the reaction. If some dude is raping women in parks, I will have a very big reaction to that. Because a huge part of me is you know, a part of my principles are really hit because I'm like, that is messed up, that is wrong. And I recognize that it is wrong because I wouldn't want someone to violate my will. It doesn't matter if it's a boss. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter if it's a friend or a boss or anybody who forces something on me. I would never allow that. So if I hear that someone else got something forced on them, especially like something that leaves you traumatized, then I have a really negative reaction to it. Then I know, okay, the source of it is I wouldn't want someone forcing themselves on me. That's why I have a reaction to that, really bad reaction to that, you know?
Yeah, I see. So you're saying you do comedy to discover yourself, to learn more about yourself?
Part of it is self-discovery, and then giving that self-discovery as a gift to people. So I was once very homophobic.
Really?
I in high school, I remember on the playground there was this gay dude. I just hated him because he was gay. So I got we were having a snowball fight.
Okay.
So I got a stone and I put it in.
That's classic.
in snow, and I threw it at him, right? And I really hit him. And I was a bit of a bully sometimes, even though I was a nice kid. If I didn't like something, I didn't like something. So, and I remember at school he was like, "Oh, why did you throw that stone to me, nigger?" I threw a stone at me, nigger, and I was like, "What did you say?" And then he just left, and I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna beat the shit out of him." And I remember after school I saw him, and I was with my friends, like all black kids, you know. We're all 15, 16, high on testosterone. And I see the dude walking with a girl on his bicycle. And I'm like, I'm going to fuck him up. And I walked up to him. And I don't know, someone heard me. And we're like, I don't know, 20 kids there, mostly black dudes. And one of them's like, oh. They called me Kiki back then. Kiki's going to fuck someone up. And then suddenly 7 black dudes are following me to that guy. And then I find him and I push him like, yo, you called me nigger? And then I look behind me and 7 of my friends are there. They're like, yeah, what you saying now?
Oh,
and I remember looking.
The horror.
Yeah, I remember looking in his eyes and I saw him terrified. And I don't know what the fuck happened, but in that moment, I was like, holy shit, is this who I am? Like, really? Like, this is a terrified human being and I am like literally a bully.
Yeah.
In that moment, I obviously, because my homeboys are there, so I didn't want to be like, guys, this is wrong. This is fucked up. What the fuck are we doing? So I was like, you get away this time. Hey, let's leave him. Fuck it. Let's leave him anyway. Right? So we left after that.
Okay.
But I don't know what it was, man. But after that moment, when I looked at that person and I just saw another human being, I couldn't get over it, man. I was like, holy fuck, what the fuck was that? Why did I do that? You know? And after that, I was like, fuck this shit. I even had a teacher that was gay. Nicest dude I've ever met. Like one of the coolest teachers I've ever had till this day, you know? And he helped me also kind of just be like, yo, that's just fucked up bullshit, man. Like, that person is not hurting me, not hurting anybody, right? Yeah, they're not forcing their will on anybody, right? And I'm like, how on earth am I gonna hate that? Part of me probably has some, maybe, I don't know, I would say there's a part of my masculinity that feels somewhere threatened. Yeah. And I respond with hatred to another man that loves men, right? And I'm just like, yo, I'm a man, you know, I like pussy. If he likes dick, you know, good for him, you know what I mean? It's not, it doesn't affect me. It doesn't
obviously
have any impact on my life.
We here are kind of homophobic because we haven't really seen many gay dudes. In high school, I've never seen a gay dude. In București, I've seen maybe, I don't know, I think since 2012 in Bucharest, I've seen maybe like 4 or 5 gay people. So we kind of hate them out of inertia. In the early 2000 gangster rap, there were many verses towards gay people. It's like when you have a friend that's like I don't know, more effeminate, you call him gay. When something is bad, you say that's gay. But it's not really rooted in reality. We haven't seen gay people, right?
Exactly. And you know, what is gay? I mean, if you really think about it, fucking another dude is like that's way too gangster for me. That's like some Julius Caesar shit. Julius Caesar was fucking dudes. Napoleon was fucking men, and you know what I mean? All these emperors with a deep need to conquer, they'll be like, I fuck dudes too. I fuck women. Fuck everybody.
Fuck everyone.
I'm gonna I'm not gay.
In ancient Rome, you were the weird one if you didn't fuck young people.
What was it? You know in Game of Thrones, there is the
Oberyn Martell.
What's it called? No, there is they have the knight has a guy, little boy that helps him. The squire.
Yeah.
The squire in the olden days were boys that were actually used by the knight also for sexual gratifications, and that was a very common. That was like normal. They saw it as it's a man conquering another man. So somehow that is a masculine trait, right?
I see.
So I'm not attracted to men. You know, if a guy is attracted to men, I honestly think that he doesn't think about straight men. Like I don't think about every woman. Oh my God, I'll do her. You know what I mean? And even if the thought enters your mind, you don't really act like it to her. You're just normal. Most girls would be terrified if they knew how many guys thought about them in their heads. But that's guy mentality. We don't actually cross the border and do it. We just think about it.
Not everyone.
Well, but
until she shows you the slightest hint
if
of
there is
interest.
no interest, right? Even if you're like, oh shit, she's hot, right? You're not gonna force yourself. You're not gonna.
Obviously,
she will never even smell that you're interested. You know, that's how guy gets friend zoned all the time. I think the same. Like, if I have a gay friend and I'm not interested, he won't. He could think, but that's whatever.
I'm very sure that I've had many gay friends that I don't know about. I mean, I come from a small town, like 20,000 people at tops, and I don't really know anyone that was gay. Well, you can't have 20,000 people without.
They were there, but they just sometimes we will never know. I think many of us are descendants of gay people.
Obviously.
There was a gay man who made children. He lived in a time when he couldn't express it. And we're here today. You know, some of these homophobes would be surprised that their great granddad
I think most of the people are not. Well, I'm not gonna say most of the people because I don't have a study to show that. But I think most. Let's say most, but
let's say most.
Most of the people that fuck dudes are not 100% gay.
I would believe that. In Saudi Arabia, I read an article about an underground scene.
Okay.
In Riyadh, the capital, where a lot of dudes are doing a lot of dudes. And some of these dudes are gay, some are not. But like, it's just like this thing, you know, it's an underground club. No one speaks about it.
Well, obviously, because you would be beheaded.
But they're like some figures in there. They're like some of the people who are there. You wouldn't even think they're there, right? So,
well, Arabs are very hardcore in hating gay people and executing them. So it's not a surprise. It wouldn't come to
the surface.
It's not a surprise that you would not suspect some people to be gay there. You know, the Spartans. Sorry.
No, I was saying that I have this theory that a homophobic nation gets nature's misogynic men get as an answer from nature homosexuals, but not like the normal dudes, the ones that are MMA fighters. They're really ripped, you know what I mean? Like the dudes who just like are always shouting at girls, "Chufach bomba," all that kind of stuff. Like 10 years from now, there'll be this really buff dude, you know, "Chufach bombu," and he just grabs you and shit. You can't go away because he's too strong and stuff, starts kissing you, whispering in your ears and shit. That would be really fucked up. What if homosexuals are nature's response to men treating women shit? Wouldn't that be some shit?
Yeah, man. I had a guy that was much bigger than me grab me once and he called me very sexy. And I was like, he's just some dude. But now you're like, wait a minute. And then he grabbed my arm. Oh, very sexy. And thanks, man. And I was trying to leave, and he held me. But no, he was cool. He was okay. All right. He just wanted to say that he really meant it. That I was sexy. And
I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe that was just him showing some man love.
Yeah. I don't know. But you say that you said about MMA fighters that are gay, and in sports, I think there aren't many gay people that are are not closeted. They are.
You mean they are or they aren't?
They aren't. So they're not. How do you say? Nu sunt pe față. Nu sunt.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I think there's a lot of gay football players, basketball players, but you would never know because we think gay is the sissy feminine kind of. Yeah. I met a dude once in Scotland, and we used to like hang out with friends, and I was like, that he's the man. Ross, he's the man. That dude, he was the kind of dude you want to be seen around. Yeah. Because that guy was just the man, you know? And, I mean, good looking, tall. The ladies just fell for him, but he wasn't he was like the man, football, beers. This dude was the man. Yeah. And then he's like, yeah, man. So, anyway, he's like, my boyfriend. It's like, wait. That's a good real? One, bro. So, you got me there. It's like, nah, man, my boyfriend. I'm like, wait, what? He's like, yeah, I'm gay. I'm like, what? And I asked the other dudes, like, is he for real? And they're like, yep. And I was like, what the fuck, right? And I was expecting his boyfriend, he's gonna have like borderline woman showing up, right? Like a drag queen or something. She's too masculine to be gay, so the other one has to be borderline female. Other dude, super manly dude as well. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Right? I was like, okay.
Gay people, man.
Okay. And that's when I was like,
who gets them?
there is some gay people out there that people do not even smell it. They don't even think they're gay, but they are.
And now there was this thing that gay people had back in the day. It was called gaydar, and they could feel the other homosexuals in the building. Yeah. Now it's just called Grindr. Yeah. All right, man. I think we have an hour
already.
Time flies here.
You're cutting it at an hour.
Yeah. I'm just doing 1 hour.
Dope. It looked. I think half of it was just talking about gay men. Was basically half of it.
It's a very good subject, man.
Hey, let's be real. It is a subject that's not spoken about a lot, and I think there's especially a lot of dudes out there that, you know what? I'll just round up real quickly. I was talking with a friend of mine.
Take your time.
And he was like, "What would you do if you have a son and your son is like, you know, Dad, I'm gay, you know?" I'm like, well, you know, I'll be like, listen, you're my son, you're a Chibanga. I want straight men to be afraid of you, all right? You're gonna be the gayest motherfucker out there. Yeah. You're gonna walk around with boners in public, and if a straight dude looks at you, like, yo, what? Want this dick? I want you to scare everybody, right? Don't be a pussy, right? Yeah. Be who you are, but do not, don't be a pussy.
What's wrong with being a pussy? I mean, if you can be a homosexual and be, I don't know, feminine.
It's still my son. It's still my son. I'm like, yo, conquer these dudes, bro. Be like Napoleon.
No, but the worst thing to do when you have a gay son is to, I don't know, forbid him or be mad at him or resent him. That would be the toughest shit on him. Nobody
chooses. I mean, you've seen how gay people get treated. Nobody chooses and says, I'm gonna be treated really shit.
Yeah, I think Romania is a very good place to be gay.
Exactly.
Let's do it.
I'm gonna have everyone ostracize me because why not? You know what I mean? Yeah.
All right, man.
All right.
Thanks for coming. There was a nice podcast.
Dope.
Mukinka, ladies and gentlemen. Bye.
Thank you, guys. Peace.